I don't often get to talk about it on this channel, but I love Bionicle. I love the sets and the story, but most of all, I love building mocks. With Duckbricks running his Orde fanon contest, I thought this would be a great opportunity to share with you one of my older Bionicle mocks. This is my custom Toa Orde. It's my entry to the Duckbricks contest, and it's currently made it to the final round. I'll link the contest poll in the description, so if you like this model and think it's the best of the bunch, I'd definitely appreciate a vote. Also, if you want to build them for yourself, I'll have breakdown images linked in the description below. Anyways, moving on, this model is actually a couple years old at this point. When I built it, TTV was still running the contest, and I've kept it together ever since. At the time, there weren't many medium blue Ords out there, and I really wanted to use the color on him. Beyond that, the mission statement was just to make a Toa that felt very old, drawing inspiration from the Canon Helrix and the Toamata. Speaking of which, bringing them in for a comparison, I do think Orde works well as an almost missing link in between of those two designs. He's a hunched, aged robot made mostly with classic Technic pieces. Starting from the bottom and taking a closer look, Orde's legs are color blocked to look like he's wearing boots. I've combined the Slicer and Roborider heads as they both have a very smooth, glossy finish and come together to form one cohesive boot shape. The thighs are just basic prefab Ben 10 thigh pieces, which I love to use on my models. They offer nice shaping and have less visual noise than the Bionicle alternatives. His arms are dead simple and built near identically to a Toamata, just with some extra details like posable fingers. His weapon is meant to be a shepherd's cane. I built this guy before Greg came back to canonize that his weapon was a mace, and was already too attached to the idea of Orde having his galley-hook staff, so I stuck with it. Obviously it wouldn't be too hard to just change the head out for something more mace-like, but personally I don't really mind contradicting a Greg quote. The torso is the most complex part of the build, but even then is still super basic. When it comes to canon mocks, I generally think simplicity is the name of the game. Bringing in overcomplicated custom elements can often make the model look less like an official Bionicle and more like a mock, and that's something I try to avoid. At its core, his torso is built around a classic Technic Ratchet, which gives his torso its hunched posture and works in tandem with his flexible two-piston midsection. For his mask, I decided to go with a Noble Matatu. Orde has had a pretty rough time in life and is pretty much defined by one big screw-up. For a character that downtrodden, I thought it would be really funny if he had a mask power that's completely superfluous. As a Toa of psionics, Orde naturally has telekinesis, making the Matatu, the mask of telekinesis, completely useless to him. I've added some gold tiles to the mask's forehead, which are meant to represent some sensory deprivation goggles for when he really needs to concentrate. Unfortunately, they are permanently mounted up there and can't be slid down to actually cover his eyes. For articulation, Orde's head is on a pin which allows it to swivel left and right, and to tilt. His arms are on ball joints, allowing them to swing forward and backwards and in and out, and of course there's the Mata ball joint here as well, which allows for a swivel. Then on this arm there's this hand which can be clicked out to rotate whichever way you want, and his fingers are individually posable. Then his legs are on ball joints so they can swing forward and back and in and out, and his knees are on ball joints, which allow for a slightly over a 90-degree bend, and again, ball joints at the ankles, which allow for a little bit of tilt, and back and forth tilt as well. That's really all there is to say about Orde. He's an old mock, but I still really enjoy him. If you like him too, please do consider voting for him in the Duckbricks contest, linked in the description. But that's all I have for now, so I'll see you next time.